Hey there, nerdpreneurs. Welcome back to Market Like a Nerd. And get ready to geek out with me because today I'm joined by sales coach and funnel expert, Jessica Lorimer. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Jessica. Welcome to Nerdpreneur Nation.
I am so excited to be here. And you're like the first person that's ever got my name right.
Oh, yay. Well, I like said it in like a half British accent, so I think that helped. It's really tempting to do this entire interview in a British accent, but for the sake of our listeners, I will not pain them with that sad attempt. All right, so for everyone who's listening, just so that you know, today we are talking about how Jessica here has never had a no on a discovery call. Gasp! 100% success and conversion on her discovery sessions. Can it be? Yes, it can be. And we are going to talk about how. So first, let me tell you a little bit about Jessica, and then we'll dive into her steps and tips for how to make this happen in your business too. All right, Jessica Lorimer is a sales coach. I'm going to keep saying it that way, just so you know. Jessica Lorimer is a sales coach and funnel expert who works with coaches to develop proven sales strategies to attract premium clients with ease so that they have more time, more money, and freedom and don't have to worry about finding new clients every single month because that's annoying. Jessica has a thriving online Facebook community, fabulous female entrepreneurs, where she shows up daily and delivers trainings on attracting premium clients with ease. Yeah, that's the overview of her story and biography. She sounds pretty baller, guys. But I want you to get to know the real Jessica. So before we dive into the meat of today's episode, let's have some fun. Oh, what's that face? Are you scared? You probably should be.
I'm terrified. I'm like, what can you have possibly come up with for me?
Oh, no, you'll be okay. All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this thing. You love living and working by the sea. Does this mean you're a mermaid?
I think so. I feel like I can hold my breath for quite a while underwater, and nobody has ever seen my feet, which means that I must not have them. I'm a mermaid.
Oh my God. Curious. Yeah. Well, I get to see you in May, so I better see that mermaid tail.
Yes, I'll be wearing my mermaid flip-flops.
Oh, I like. Now, you have a dog, Max, who is a teacup chihuahua. So I'm curious, have you ever... He's on the screen. I can see him. Have you ever put him in a teacup?
No, he's a bit too fat. That's the downside, is that for a teacup chihuahua, he's pretty large.
Oh! Poor Max. You're not fat, Max. I think you're beautiful just the way you are.
He does have a little bag, though. When we take him anywhere, he sits in a little bag that's his own. And it has like a little sun visor, so he doesn't get sunblind.
That's so cute. Now, you really love wine. Would you rather have free access to crappy wine for the rest of your life or pay $100 a day for a higher quality bottle of wine?
That is literally a no-brainer. $100 a day for high-quality wine. I mean, the amounts would be tricky, because if I was only going to get like no, screw it. I've never gone with low-quality wine. Not ever. There are some things in life that should not be low quality. One of them is wine. One of them is chocolate.
Oh, anything else? I don't know. I mean, I'm not the classiest person ever when it comes to wine. Like, it's so funny because maybe it was you even. Oh my God, it was you. I think I took a picture of my husband and I cheersing with a glass of wine. And it had water. It had ice in it. And I'm pretty sure you commented and you were like, classy, Amanda.
Yeah, wine is just one of those things, like, you can't mess with it. A good bottle of red wine, you're set up for a great evening of karaoke and laughs, right?
Oh, okay, so karaoke. Yeah. You like to sing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay. Sing us a song. Sing us a melody.
Which one are we doing?
I don't know. Which one do you want to do?
Oh, I'm feeling like a little bit of a Taylor Swift moment.
Oh my God, please do it.
Shake it up, I don't know the rest of the words. I just like that bit where she's like, shake it up.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
I should know the words better, but I don't. I just really like that bit.
Yeah. Thank you for playing along, because every time I ask that question, people like they get out of it. They try to get out of it, and it really bothers me because like I want to have karaoke moments on this show. I think that's an important part of every day, you know?
Hey, if my office was soundproofed and my boyfriend was not in the next room, I would whack out Whitney Houston for you right now.
All right, finally, most importantly, you went to Iceland with your little hubby guy dude, right?
Yeah.
All right. If an alien popped out of the northern lights sky and wanted to abduct just one of you, would you go or kindly volunteer your guy?
I mean, Sam really likes space. He has a master's degree in astronautics and aeronautics. So I could kindly volunteer him and he'd be like, yay! He would love to go and make friends with little green men.
Oh, out of the kindness of your heart, you'll give him that opportunity, right?
I don't want to miss out on life experiences like that.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
All right, so now we know what type of girl you are. That was fun. Thank you.
Boyfriend to aliens.
All right, let's get down to business. Jessica, you told us you were going to share with us today about how you've never had a no on a discovery call. So let's dive in. Get a little OCD for us. Break it down into your top 3 tips or steps that you have for us today. Go.
Awesome. I'm so excited about this because it's been 3 years since I've owned my business. So technically there has got to be a point where I've got to get a no. Statistically, I have to get a no at some point. But right now, I'm on 100% break. So I'm going to...
So you can only go down from here.
Yeah, exactly. Can I get work? Which is not where anyone wants to be. But I think it's really important with discovery calls that to understand that a discovery call isn't a discovery call unless you actually have it planned. So the first step in my sequence to 100% close rate is to pre-qualify the people that are actually coming onto your discovery calls. Now, you probably do this too, right? You don't want every Joan, Jen, and Harry coming onto your discovery call because let's face it, they're not all going to be right, and they probably haven't all done the research into you, into what you're selling, into your service, and they might not have enough know, like, trust factor with you yet to actually buy on the call. So you have to pre-qualify them. And you can do that with a questionnaire, you can do it through email, you can do it over Facebook Messenger if that's how you're arranging your discovery calls. But you've got to make sure that those people meet your criteria for being potential prospective clients. Because this is just as much an interview for you as it's for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a really key area where a lot of entrepreneurs, especially ones who are new or they're not super experienced with marketing, although I've even seen advanced business owners get tripped up on this too, because there's a lot of coaches out there who just tell you like to grow your list and they go for the big reach, like statistically, like numbers wise, if you have like 100,000 people on your mailing list, you're going to make significantly more money than if you have like 10,000 people on your mailing list, just because they're looking at it purely from a number standpoint. But what they don't talk about is it's not just about having a lot of traffic and having a lot of calls and having a lot of people on your list. It's about having the right people. You'll have to talk to significantly less people if you're talking to the right people, and that's so much less draining. Oh my gosh, then you don't have to have as many calls on your calendar, and you don't have to take up as much time, and you always feel like the calls are worth it. Like, I imagine people who hate phone calls, who hate discovery calls, it's often because they're getting on call after call after call after call, and it doesn't result in anything in their business, so they get exhausted and they get bitter about it. But what if you were having calls and 100% of them said yes?
Exactly. And even to that thing, like, even if you had 4 calls a week and only 50% said yes or 75% said yes, how much better off would your business be? Qualifying your candidates or qualifying your potential clients is not about you asking them a ton of nosy questions that you can reject them, without even having the call. it's not like dating. You're not basically Tindering your prospective clients, okay?
Swipe left, swipe right.
Right. But it's more about you finding out whether they're actually in the right place for you to help them, or whether they're not. Because if they're not, you can say early, hey, do you know what? I'm not going to be the right person for you, but this person over here, they have great resources. They might be able to give you some better advice.
Oh, a good example of this is actually, I used to have this issue in my business when I first started out in the coaching world because I'm really good at traffic and I'm really good at getting people on the phone. That's something I've always been amazing. That's not true, not always, but since my third business, I've been incredible at it. And what ended up happening is I had this overflow of sales calls on my calendar, but I noticed about a third of them were people who were in debt. And not that there's anything wrong with people who are in debt. I have absolutely nothing against that because I have been in debt myself and I know 100% they still need help. They still need help. Yeah. But to be honest, if you're in debt, getting on the phone with me is probably not the best fit, because if you're on the phone with me, chances are I'm going to be offering something that's at least $2,000, usually more in the range of $10,000, $20,000 or more. And if you're in debt, that's just not a smart decision for you. There are some coaches who, even if they're in debt, they'll still try to, push you to join. I'm not one of them. If you're in debt, I don't think it's right for you to join a $20,000 program. So what I did is I started segmenting before I offer phone calls. And if people tell me in the segmenting, in the sales funnel, if they tell me they're in debt, I send them off to a automated webinar about being in debt that sells them into a $200 debt program, which is significantly more congruent for them. That way I don't get on the phone with those people and I give them what they really need.
And I think that's really important. Ultimately, we all want to be selling with integrity. Yes, we all want to make money. And that is, believe me, a big priority in your business. Otherwise, you have a very expensive hobby. But at the same time, you want the right people that you can actually get results for, so that you can get testimonials, so that you can look just as good as they do when they start hitting the results. That's ultimately the client-coach relationship is all about. You benefit them, and their testimonial will benefit you.
Oh my gosh. I love that you said this, because you reminded me, this is my favorite thing about you. I mean, there's a lot of things I love about you, like your lipstick and your hair and your accent, and all of those things. But I really, the fact that I can make you blush. But I really love that you're so results focused. I mean, you are honestly, in essence, you're a results marketer. You always are talking about the results you're getting for your clients. You're very, very good at getting really quick results for your clients. And part of that is that you pre-qualify so well that you only take on clients that you're setting both of you guys up for success. And this is a challenge a lot of entrepreneurs have, is they take on clients just because they want the money. They take on clients just because, they want that sale, they want that yes. And it takes a lot of strength and integrity to not do that. It takes a lot of strength and integrity to say no. I really want you to be successful. I really want you to be happy, and at the same time, in integrity, I don't think I'm the right fit. Here's somewhere else that you can go. Because what happens when you do that is it's best for both parties. It's best for you because you avoid potentially taking on someone who you can't help, and then they're unhappy, which makes you unhappy. And it also ensures you take on people who you're going to get just wild results for. Yeah. And that's what you become known for.
And I think it's so important. Ultimately, people, when we look at discovery calls, and I think this ties in really well. When we look at discovery calls, people aren't interviewing you. You are also interviewing them. This is a two-way street. Yeah. And sometimes it really hurts. I've had people that I've desperately wanted to work with and just been I would, if I could get my hands on their business, I would literally chop one of my fingers off for it. When it's come to the call and when I've actually talked about what their goals are and when I've talked to them about what they really want to do, I know that they're not there yet.
Yeah.
And so I have to, in all integrity and responsibility, I have to send them to someone who can get them to where they need to be before I can do all the good stuff, the stuff that I really enjoy, so they do really succeed. And that's important during these discovery calls, it's not a one-way street. The client is not interviewing you and making a decision on, oh, well, is Jess or is Amanda good enough for me to work with? It's about you saying, can I get this person the best results that I could possibly do? And are they the best fit for my business? Are they someone that I'm going to wake up and want to work with every day?
I love that. And this is a good thing to clarify too. So with your case study, you've never gotten a no on a discovery call. So what you mean by that is, and that's not to say every single solitary discovery call has led to a sale. It's to say that every single solitary call where you've offered something, you've actually made an offer, they've said yes. There have been calls though where you've turned people away.
Yes, about 40%.
Okay.
I think that's I think it's a pretty standard number when you get to a certain point in coaching and you're confident in what you deliver and you're confident in the type of clients that you can work with. You are always going to get people that they want to be a yes for you, but they're not.
Yeah.
And they might have to go away for 6 months and do something a bit different, or, move up in terms of their business or the health of a relationship, whatever it is that you're trying to help them with, to get to the point you need them to be at. But you are have to turn them away temporarily. Yeah. And the important thing is leave that relationship open. I've had so many people who've come back to me and said, hey, I've come back to you because you told me to go away and do these things, and I've done them now, and now I'm ready for you. And they don't go to somebody else. They come back because they appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so number one, first and foremost, is to pre-qualify the people and make sure that they're actually a good fit before you even get on the phone with them. That's number one. What's next?
Absolutely. Number two is set an agenda, right? How many times have we all been on a discovery call where there's been that awkward moment at the end where you're like, they really like me. I really like that. I want to make the offer, but I don't know how to go in for it, right?
Yeah.
And kind of sat there thinking, what point do I bring up the fact that I want them to work with me and they're going to have to pay me and this is uncomfortable, right? It's called setting an agenda.
Right.
Do it at the beginning when the elephant is in the room, and completely take it out of it and say, hey, look, on the call today, we're going to talk about your goals and what it is that you want to achieve. And then I'm going to ask you some pretty probably intrusive questions about where you are right now and why you're not hitting the goals that you want to hit. And then at the end, if it feels right, and only if it feels right, I'm going to tell you how we can work together in the future. How's that sound? Done.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you say okay, that means that you can ask them those questions that you probably really want to ask, but you're not quite sure on whether they're going to take it well or not. It means that you can talk to them openly and honestly about their goals. And it also means that when you want to make the pitch, if you want to make the pitch at the end, you have the right, you have the floor to. They are expecting you to do it if it's the right decision for them.
Yeah, I love that. And I 150% agree. Actually, more like 200% if we're being like really, specific here. Yeah. The other thing that I've noticed about this when you set agendas is it helps you to get into the flow with your discovery calls because you do them in the same exact way generally. I mean, like, you're still going to customize within the structure of the agenda for each person you're talking to. But in general, you're going to be following the same sort of structure so you can get into a flow of it. I notice this with a lot of entrepreneurs is when they first start doing discovery calls, it's very up in the air how each call is going to go. And it's almost like each call is completely custom and it's just free flowing and there's no real structure to it. So what ends up happening is they can't test things in their calls and they can't even get comfortable in their calls because every single solitary call is different.
Yeah.
With the way that I do it, and it sounds like the way that you do it too, is there's a structure to it, so there's a flow to it, so you can get comfortable with it, you can test things in it, and you can get into habits on your call. It almost becomes like second nature.
Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to test and tweak different things. Some questions go down better than others. If you're asking financial questions first, expect that person's going to be pretty shocked and a little bit kind of concerned about where you're going with it. So you have to have a clear kind of rhythm to your call around what's going to happen, make it clear for them, make it very normal for them, and also make the sale normal, because actually people enjoy being sold to in the right way. And when it's been, when it's completely open and transparent, what people don't enjoy is these kind of weird, this is a free coaching call, and then suddenly, at the end, by the way, I want you to buy something.
Yeah, that's weird.
Jive.
I actually, I've gotten into the habit on my calls. I don't even want to say warn, because it's not really like warning, but I tell them that at the end, once we're, done what we're talking about, we're done coming up with the strategy, then we'll explore working together further from here. And that will be a good experience too. That's what I say. I always tell them this is going to be like a fun experience. And when we talk about that, you're going to enjoy that too. Because I don't want them to feel, anxious about the conversation. You want them to trust you and it not be this like stressful thing to talk about, because it's really not. It can be fun to sell someone.
And how many times have you bought something that's really expensive? I don't know, like in the UK, cars are a big deal here. So people buy nice cars, and you never walk out of the car showroom having spent an eye-watering amount of money on a nice blue car going, oh God, that was awful. I felt horrendous. Because if you did that, you wouldn't buy it or you'd return it. Whereas if you go into a sales process and the person is actually interested in you and they make it fun and they actually listen to what you want, your wants, your needs, it feels really good. It feels like they care, because they do, because at that moment in time, you are the most important person on their radar and they're making time for you. And time is the one thing that we don't get a lot of in the 20th century. Everyone's on social media. We're always picking things up, multitasking. So when you give people time and that space to express themselves and really talk in depth about something they're passionate about, it actually makes them feel really good. And then the sales process is something they remember as being a good experience, regardless of whether they...
Gosh. This is such a good point too, because there's a lot of sales coaches who are like high pressure sales, very masculine approach to sales. And what ends up happening is sometimes those tactics might work better for clients, like comparatively compared to what they were doing before. The high pressure sales get them better results. But what I've noticed is high pressure sales, even if it makes you more money on the front end, like you get more sales, you end up getting more chargebacks, you end up getting more refund requests, you end up getting more unhappy clients, versus doing this love-based approach where you genuinely want to get to know them, you genuinely want to make sure they're a good fit, and it's not about, like closing them or like making the sale or making money. It's about making sure that you're actually able to help them and you're able to get results for them. When you take that approach, what ends up happening is people feel good about the decision. It's their decision, so they can't blame it on you. They can't say that like they were pressured into it. They feel good about the decision, so you're significantly less likely to get them changing their mind, doing chargebacks, doing refunds, because it was on them. It was their decision and they felt good about it. Yeah.
And I think that's really important. It actually is my next point, literally. So.
Oh, yay! What's number 3?
But yeah, my third point about discovery calls and making sure they're a success is about empowering them to make that decision, right? It doesn't matter if they're a yes or they're a no. The point is they come to that decision on the call, okay? So they can go away and think about it, sure. Like, absolutely, you shouldn't be saying to somebody, well, if you're going away and thinking about it, it means you're a no, because that makes you a douche, right? You should always, maybe I shouldn't have phrased it quite like that, but yeah, it does. So, you have to, on that call, give them the space to make the right decision for them. And what that means is that you answer their questions, you give them a clear boundary around, okay, what are your questions? What do you need from me to help you make this decision? If that person says, look, I need to go and talk to my partner, be understanding. Yeah. We don't make big investments without talking to husbands and wives and spouses and stuff, because again, we don't really want to get in the crap when we leave the conversation, so be understanding on those situations, but really give that person the space that they need to make the decision, and be unafraid to call them out on certain aspects. So if somebody says, hey, look, I just want to think about it, you say, hey, look, that's totally fine. I completely understand why you want to think about it. It's a big investment and it's a big commitment. But I've been totally honest with you and transparent with you throughout the process, and I'd love it if you could be honest with me. Is there anything that you feel like I haven't answered for you today that will help you make this decision within the next 24 hours? And if there is, come at me.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to answer it. And if there isn't, then that's cool, and I'll follow up with you in 24 hours. But either way, within that 24-hour period, I want to be certain that you're going to contact me and say yes or no. And I'm not going to cry. I just want to know which one it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that, because that you mentioned 24 hours multiple times in that little spiel. And by the way, you can tell that you've said this spiel many times because it like kind of rolls off the tongue. I love that. Brush your shoulders up. I love it. You said 24 hours multiple times in that spiel, but you did it in a very I hear it because I'm a marketer, but to them, it's almost like you're leaving these like little subtle cues like, hey, I expect for you to give me an answer, and I expect for it to like not take 2 weeks, and that you won't leave me in limbo. You're actually going to get back to me.
It gives you that chance to follow up as well.
Yeah.
Because they know that in 24 hours, you're going to pop them an email and be like, hey, did you make the decision?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You're not going to have to get back on the phone with them. They're either going to be a yes in 24 hours or they're going to be a no.
Yeah.
And either one is cool. Like, that's the thing. You have to be detached from the process. You can't attach every single client to, or every single potential client to, a $5,000 price tag or something. Mm-hmm. But you have to give them that space, and it has to be reasonable.
Yeah. You know what else I love about this too is there's a lot of sales coaches, and it's typically the high pressure sales coaches who say, you want to eliminate the follow-up, you got to get the yes or the no on the phone. And while I do believe you should try your hardest to get the yes or no on the phone, there are cases when you have to give people that space. And in all integrity, if you're not giving them that space and you're pressuring them to buy on the phone, it might not be the right thing for either of you. And then they might end up regretting it, and you might end up regretting it too. So sometimes it does happen. It does happen sometimes where you have to give people that space, and then there does become follow-up, and you've got to be okay with that.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, you can take people so far in a call. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have done the other 2 steps correctly, if you've pre-qualified your people, mm-hmm. they already know that they're coming into that call to buy something. Mm-hmm. They just don't know yet. 90% of people, if you've done the hard work in terms of the pre-qualification, and you've set the agenda and you've made it very clear about what your expectations are from the call, they are at a point where they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they want to purchase from you. And they just want to maybe ask some questions or get some reassurance about whether it can really work for them. But if you have to hard sell every single person, if you keep coming up against a ton of objections, there's something wrong with your pre-qualification system. Mm-hmm. It's got nothing to do with their decision making. It's something that's coming up around how you pre-qualifying these people, and are you getting the right traffic into your process in the first place?
Yeah, so before the call is when the real hard work happens, and if you put in the effort to get that right, then the call is almost just a formality.
Yeah, it's you kind of answering any questions they've got. It's giving them reassurance that yes, it'll work for them, or no, they need something different.
Oh my gosh, I've literally had phone calls. This is so fun. This is reminding me. This is so funny. I've literally had calls before where I've ditched my agenda, and I've literally just said, this is so, you'll love this. I've literally had calls where I've ditched the agenda and I've said, okay, so it sounds like you're already pretty clear that you want to join this program or work with me, and you just have some questions. So how about we just ditch the agenda today and you just ask me what questions you need? And then I'll just because then I'm basically saying like, oh, you're already going to buy from me, so this is just a formality. Here, ask me what questions you have. And 100% of those have led to yeses.
I love it. But they're the fun ones, that you already know that person is into you. And it's just a case of, right, okay, what works?
Yeah.
Are they going to be a plan, or are they going to be a pay in full, or how are they going to fit? You know, it's that kind of thing. I had a woman recently, she sent me an email. She was like, Jess, I want to work with you. Can we set up a call? And I'm like, I've never heard of you. I don't know you. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, sure. We can see if I'm going to be right for you and whether I've got anything. She's like, and she literally just sent me back, LOL, you will be. I was like, okay. When I got on the phone with her, she was
Take my money, Jessica. Take it.
take all of my cash. And I was like, okay. But again, it comes down to, you know, pre-qualify your people, right?
Yeah.
You know, give them that space. Be that person that they actually want to talk to and they want to buy from, and they will.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Okay, so let's recap and then talk about where everyone can go to find you. So as a recap, number 1, pre-qualify. That does the heavy lifting for you. Number 2 is set an agenda so that it's not like this awkward thing when you start talking about working with each other, and you can kind of get into a flow and test things. And number 3, empower them to make the decision so that they feel good about that decision to work with you and don't regret it later. Now, for the nerdpreneurs who are listening, who want to get an A+ for effort and are going to take that extra step to look you up once this is over, can you make it a little easier on them? Where can they find you online? What's the gift that you have for us today?
I have a really cool gift, and I'm not even going to be humble. Like, it's a really, really cool gift. So make sure you go download it, everybody, because it's just epic. And it's designed specifically to help you with your sales calls. So you can find it over at jessicalorimer.com/supersizeyoursales, because, you know, we're nerdy and we geeked out over the little custom URL things. And it's basically a guide that takes you through the 3 steps that you need to actually pre-qualify your audience. So you can go and you can do all the hard work really, really easily without having to kind of think about it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so jessicalorimer.com/supersize your sales, right?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And if you guys are listening and you're like in the car and you can't find the URL or whatever, you can go to the show notes and we'll have a clickable link where you can click over and grab that gift. All right, Nerdpreneur Nation, there you have it. Our sales superhero has swooped in to save the day to grab her downloadable gift about how to pre-qualify your sales. Head on over to jessicalorimer.com/supersize your sales. I was like, supersize my sales, supersize your sales. I can't remember. Supersize your sales. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Jessica.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I love you. All right. And thank you guys for listening. We hope that you learned a lot. Can't wait to hear where these tips take you. And we'll catch you next time on Market Like a Nerd. Have a nerdtastic day, guys. Bye.